CDS, and then the naval officer spoke to the CDS. Nothing still changed. So you can see that there's power play, and there's also the terms of legality, what is acceptable, what is wrong. So the young man says, I'm acting based on order, and Wike is asking, where's your evidence? But is that the point where evidence is supposed to be shown? I mean, because it looks as though if that evidence even came out, it will be torn with that kind of heat. But there's a place where evidence makes more sense. That to the FCT minister, the naval officer, and whoever gave the order, listen to, is the court. At the courtroom, everybody hears the last command. So, because the FCT minister saying to the young man that he's a fool, signals a lot of things. That's it in an officer on uniform, and it tells you that there's no respect for the federal government in that instance. And I don't think it's something that we like to see, because that exchange was just not necessary. But how the young man was able to control and emotionally stand his ground and not, you know, coward to fear and act erratically, it's something commendable, and we must commend that. However, I understand that the FCT minister is doing all he can to ensure that lands are built, or people do not acquire illegal lands, and lands are protected, and there's nothing like land grabbing. However, approach is very important. Approach is very important. I do not think that this thing that happened here could have happened if he had spoken to the person who even gave the order. It's a conversation that shouldn't have gotten to this point. Because at this point now, we are just saying who is a fool, who is not a fool. And that exchange was very unnecessary. It was very unnecessary. I don't know how to feel about this, but I'm hoping that the evidence comes, because it's now a thing of who is right and who is wrong. Somebody says, I have evidence. The other person says, oh, no, you have no right. So the courts would have the final say.
First of all, I must commend the, would I say, the calm approach of the military personnel. The way he took matters, he took it from a very, very, I think, emotional. He was very emotionally intelligent. We can give it to him for that. And just like you said, two wrongs cannot make a right. And also, it's not in all situations that two rights can always be right. It can be wrong too sometimes. But then, I mean, the minister's approach, I can say, was not really good. It was not really good. This is not me saying what the minister is trying to do isn't good.
Nobody does that.
We did not carry anybody.
The man took the Arab, we will not allow going on take on and then for you to carry land.
Sir, everything was acquired legally.
Will you stop
you
that?
get the
Will you stop that?
Sir, I'm an officer, have integrity.
Shut up, your man, good
sir. I will not shut up.
Will you get out?
Sir, I won't shut up. Sir,
I was in school, you're not in school.
Sir, you can't shut
Will
me
you
up.
keep quiet? Get me a big food.
I'm not
You are a big fool.
I'm not a fool,
You
sir.
can shoot anybody like that.
Sir, I'm not
You
a
are a big
fool.
fool.
I am not a fool, sir.
And for the time I graduated, you are in primary school.
I'm acting on orders.
Take for which
You can't
order?
call me a fool.
I just say, you will see what else you will not do here.
Sir, you can't call me a fool.
You have to follow me.
I'm an officer. I'm not a fool, sir.
Okay, I'm so corrupt. You will have killed everybody here.
No, we won't kill anybody. We won't kill anybody. We are acting on orders.
Go and develop the other to see you.
Regular officer, you want to come and complain?
We are going to get out.
It can be owned by anybody, regardless of your status. But yet, coming down to now, we're seeing that lands in Abuja, first of all, are even very expensive. Secondly, it's as if only the rich and mighty can, you know, of those that are very wealthy can own land. And it's even becoming a show of, let me say, a status symbol. That's ownership of land, you know, investment and all of these things, a tool of influence. That's what it is becoming these days. And what we are seeing here, if we look at it from the lens of, you know, dispute between a minister and the military personnel, it shows, I mean, should I say it's more like a microcosm of our larger system, where public space is increasingly privatized by who? by people who are in power, by people who are in places of influence, and those with influence, those that have political stance, military and whatnot, can dictate who gets access. And we are in a democratic society, and in a functioning democracy, the military's mandate is first of all clear: defend the nation, protect sovereignty, and support civil authorities. So I'm going to where what Shawari is saying. Aside, he just jumped past all of the arguments, this side of the debate, and went to the middle and gave his own point. He was trying to bring to the fore what the military's role in the society is. And what is the military's role in the society is to support civilian authorities, when called upon, but always under civilian oversight. That's what we have been seeing so far. We've seen so many cultural, should I say, cautionary tales with how we should, with how we can interfere with military affairs, or people cannot even, in most cases, or civilians, should I put it that way, cannot even in most cases just walk up to the military to, for some level of support and guidance. But I think that's another problem. So that's where some people are looking at it from, because when you see, first of all, in this case, the military personnel was not even armed, to talk of it. So the whole show of, the whole display of power, the whole agitation, the whole all of that, like you said, was very unnecessary and very uncomfortable for me. When I was watching it, it was very, very uncomfortable, because I don't know, it's more like, okay, why should the minister bring himself this low? And another thing there again is people. Something came to my mind too, where I was saying, okay, where does the military loyalty lies? Because what the minister is doing is trying to protect civilian rights to an extent, and then the military is trying to protect some sort of authoritarian rights, if I should put it that way. And that is where we beg the question: what are we trying to defend? What is the military trying to defend? But then that's the angle I'm seeing it from. So many angles to look at it from, but yes.
I think when you spoke, I just got two things. What happened yesterday was a matter of power and evidence coming to play. One is claiming power, the other is claiming evidence. And there's just one place to fix all of this up. It's in the courtroom. So we are hoping to see how this turns out in the coming days. I'm very sure people are so glued to know what exactly would happen with that particular land. And let us hope that justice at the end of the day prevails. But there's something that I was just telling Cynthia. Yerima said he acted on order.
Yes.
I hope that we also know that the order, I mean, it looks like the order is good now to a lot of people. But I also hope that you know that the order can be unpleasant. And so while he's a hero here, there are times when that order will not be comfortable with you as well. Let's say the order was to kill. I hope he would also praise. And this doesn't take away the fact that, oh, that was courageous, that was saying or reminding people that politicians are not all powerful, that they are all only powerful because of the power we give them. And until we realize as a people that every politician is placed there by you, you may not be able to stand up to fight for your rights. That played out, but also let us not forget that an order is always going to be an order, whether it favors you or not. So while you're celebrating, I hope you make room for the other orders that may not favor you. So let us look at some of the comments that we have on social media. What are the people saying? We have this one now.
Okay. If I can see this clearly from DGov. Say, calling commissioned officer a fool shows Minister Wike has crossed the red line. Wike should be made to face the consequences of disrespecting not only a gallant soldier, but a man who adorns a symbol of national honor. And then another comment from Balox says, I am acting on order. I am acting on order. He's repeating what the military personnel said. 3-star general. And then Wike, okay. At the moment, not even the vice president feed do anything again. The soldier, they operate strictly under 3-star general command. And for military hierarchy, only 2 people fit override them. A 4-star general, chief of defense staff, and a 5-star general commander-in-chief or president, Wike, make call tire still come out quietly.
There are more comments, and I just like us
so
to see
many
them.
more.
Okay, so this one says, this is unacceptable. His uniform should be removed. And this is coming from an APC chieftain, Joe Ibuke, who has called for the dismissal of the soldier who clashed with the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. Whatever your take is on, we like to read from you. Comment as you see this video, let us know so we can read. We also have another comment from Honorable Real One saying, calling a soldier in uniform a fool is equivalent to slapping the Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic. You know, that's the thing. So there is power. There is power, and there's a lot coming out to play here. And we just want to say, or from my end, that whatever we are doing, and I like the angle Shawari came up with, these are very little issues compared to what's happening. Have we finished sorting the issue of genocide? Have we finished sorting the issue of hunger in our country? And we're getting bothered by this. I hope that our military officers are courageous enough to stand face off with people who are causing unrest across our borders in Nigeria, because we have too many things to worry about. And if it were left for me, this shouldn't really be something that we'll be backing our brain over.
Exactly.
Just go to the court and fix it. We have more pressing issues. We have other things that are disturbing us. How are we even restoring institutional integrity? How are we ensuring that people are protected? Every now and then we are hearing stories of kidnap happening in Nigeria. It has gotten so worse, Cynthia, that everybody who travels by road is now almost doing it because they have no option.
Yes.
They can't afford to fly, or there's no train available to their location. And so what do? They go with their whatever they believe in, and they hold it sacred because you're so scared. You're so scared. So while I'm saying this, I'm hoping that this courageous spirit extends to every facet of our country. It extends there. And of course, we do not want to see cases of impunity and intimidation of people in uniforms. Because I like this, Cynthia. I remember how we've had arguments about how some politicians move around with some police officers, or even some are not even politicians, but just because you have money and you command a police officer like your bodyguard, like your boy. It's not just bodyguard. They treat them like boy. And some are even soldiers are used for all of that kind of moves. So we want to see more courageous people. We want to see people standing up against impunity, people standing up against wrong intimidation, and the law should stay as the law. I want to hear Cynthia's final thoughts.
Okay, I'll just say, I mean, what strikes me the most is, that, like you stated, that enduring tension between, law, authority, and of course morality comes to play in all of this story. And you've mentioned a very uncomfortable truth here, which is the truth about impunity, because across Nigeria we're only seeing this. We have seen similar confrontations have occurred, and they often go unnoticed, and that is because maybe they involve people that do not have much groundings in the society. And we're only seeing this because prominent figures are involved in this, and the outrage here is kind of amplified. So that's why we are talking about it. But I also feel like this selective attention should not just highlight who is right and who is wrong at this point in time. It highlights a bigger issue in our society, and that's where, when we talk of enforcement and of course public accountability, this is where it comes into action. Because you've mentioned rightfully that we are battling a whole lot of things. Currently we are battling insecurity issues, and it didn't just start now. I mean, it stirred up again seriously because of the warnings from the US president. So these are things we should be channeling all our attention to. These are places where the military should how do they deploy people to. These are not things that we as Nigerians, ordinary Nigerians, and people in power, people in leadership positions should begin to battle. And like I said, democracy, this is where we're in a democratic society, for God's sake. democracy is not merely about who holds power or who holds this. It's how that power is, wielded, how you use that power, how you utilize the power. Because when we see military officers protecting private land, while citizens are, there enduring insecurity issues on multiple fronts, I mean, we begin to wonder. It forces us to, ask different questions, and very hard questions and very uncomfortable questions that we cannot even answer about institutional purpose, about, national priorities. So we want to see this issue once of all get settled. Like Chinatu said, I think the court is the best place to address the issue. Whatever document needs to be submitted, because I feel like the minister is on his right stance. He's doing what is right. He is doing his job. And the military personnel in that case was doing his job.
Yeah.
So I think the best thing is to find a leveled ground, take the documents. Oh, this is my document. And then the minister should know how he uses his words. He should use his words wisely and constructively, because I mean, that is going to make the people see him somehow and lack some sort of trust in him. Because that's a show of that display of character. I feel like it's unacceptable for anybody, not just for the military officer.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. You've captured so well, and I know the lessons are very broad, and I hope it's taken. But the question remains, if the military guards private interests and politicians guard their reputation, who guards the nation's moral compass? That's a thought for today, and I want you to go back thinking about that. And remember that democracy is not just about who holds power, but how that power serves the people. I'd like you to join the conversation. Tell us what you think. Do you think that the military personnel ever be involved in civil dispute, or should ever be involved in military dispute? Where should we draw the line between duty and loyalty? Do well to share your thoughts with us across the different social media platforms at ideatv. Until then, my name is Chinatu Oji, and I've been with
Cynthia Vasi.
Thank you so much for your time.